How's it going, everyone? I am Dylan. This is All You Can Board. Unfortunately, Carlo is not here with me today, and for such a big announcement, our plan, of course, was for both of us to be here to sort of, introduce this to you guys and also explain all the reasons why we're doing it. Unfortunately, timing, Carlo actually caught COVID. Him and his whole little family unit there caught it, so we couldn't get together. He's going through the symptoms right now, so he did send in a video so he could have. There's some things he wanted to say as part of this announcement, so I'm going to play that for you later on. But unfortunately, that's the reason why I'm having to do this by myself. But know that Carlo echoes everything I'm going to say here, and he can't wait to be back on camera to be able to share his sentiments as well. So that's it. That's the explanation why I'm here solo, but I do have some really exciting news to share with all of you. So for a while now, I think definitely for over a year, Carlo and I have really wanted to do some sort of charity initiative, especially as our channel started to grow. We viewed it as a bit of a responsibility that, hey, we have this audience now, we have this platform, our size is growing. What is really important to us, and how can we support that? To really give back for everything that we've been given by the community, and just by being able to have a board game YouTube channel and have people who want to watch it. Like, we really wanted to give back. So we thought about it for a while, and the thing that we both kept coming back to was mental health. Both of us have our ties and connection to mental health support and struggles and people around us and personal experiences. And we also noticed that there wasn't there's a lot of initiatives out there, and a lot that were necessary to come out in the last 2 or 3 years because of representation for minorities and things like that we can't properly speak to. We can support and we can be allies, but we don't have the personal experience or the ability to really be those front of the line advocates for it. That's for someone else to do and for us to support. But we noticed that there was a gap when it came to mental health in that same way. And mental health is something that, especially because we just went through a pandemic and all these things going on in the world and in politics and everything that are constantly weighing, I think, on everyone in some form or another, it was something that was really important to us to support, was mental health. And then just couple that with our own, like I said, our own personal experiences and how it's been important to us for in my case, decades. That it just was sort of a no-brainer that we wanted to do something for mental health. We weren't sure at what that was going to take, or what form that was going to take, or in what way we were going to be able to support that. But we do know that now, so I'm very excited to announce that at the end of this month, on May 28th, which is a Saturday, starting at noon, we are going to be doing the first ever, hopefully this will be something we do again in the future, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we are going to be doing the first ever AYCB 24-hour charity live stream in support of mental health. All proceeds that are raised through this fundraising event, 100% of all proceeds are going to be going to a local mental health organization here in Winnipeg called Sara Riel, which I'll get into why we chose Sara Riel and what it is that they do in just a little bit. But I want to talk just really quickly about what this event is going to look like, what it's going to be, how you can participate, and what you can look forward to. So this is going to take place on May 28th, starting at noon. It's going to go until May 29th at noon. It's a 24-hour live streamed event. We're going to be playing board games for 24 hours straight. Myself and Carlo will be there the entire time. There may be like a small period where we each need to take like a half-hour break to survive the 24 hours, but generally we're going to be there for the entire time. We're going to be playing a whole bunch of different board games. The schedule is not created yet. We're currently working on that, but we're gonna have a schedule posted so you can know when to tune in to watch certain games, when we might be playing this one or when we might be playing this one. Some of them will be 2-player games with just me and Carlo. Some of them will be 5-player games with us and 3 of our friends. Braiden will be in a bunch of games you might know from our Discord. Braiden is also going to be running the actual technology requirements of the event, so we want to send a huge thank you to him. The event is also being sponsored by a local production company in Winnipeg called Tripwire Media Group. They are going to be providing all the gear, all the tech requirements for us, and Braiden is going to be running the entire thing. So obviously we're going to help as much as we can, but he's going to be sort of the brains behind that operation, getting the camera set up, making sure like the stream frame looks good, everything is going smoothly and stuff. So it's going to be a really exciting event. And like I said, we're going to be playing games the whole time. we do have many sponsors, the publishers that have sponsored, as well as retailers that have sponsored this. So we're gonna have several prize packages. As of right now, I believe we have 14 prize packages that likely will grow as more people could be see that this announcement has happened, maybe want to be part of the event. But there's a lot of really cool games that are going to be in these prize packages. At the very end of the video, I'll go through all the prize packages as they're currently announced, and also the ones that are TBD to let you know that they exist, but the games themselves might not be finalized for like another week or so. So I'll go through that at the end of the video, but just in case you're wondering how you can potentially win these, basically for the entire 24 hours, we're going to be accepting donations on our website, as well as we'll have the links on the YouTube live stream and everything like that. So it will be streamed on YouTube. I should have mentioned that. It won't be Twitch or anything. We're going to do it right on YouTube. So you'll be able to chat with us there if you want. If you would like to donate, every $5 that you donate, again, 100% of the proceeds all going to Sara Riel, but every $5 you donate will get you one entry into every single prize package. So if you will be eligible to win every single prize just by donating $5, but every $5 that you donate will get you another entry into every prize package. So if you donate $20, you get 4 entries into every prize package. So whatever you want to donate, $5 is sort of the threshold we're going with. You can only win max of 1 prize package. So if you somehow got lucky and got pulled for every prize package, you're not gonna win every single one. You can let us know when you do the donation if there's any prize packages you do not want to be included in because maybe you already own the game or something like that. Like, that's totally fine. But generally, you'll just be entered into every single one, and we're going to be pulling all those names after the event has happened. So once we've received all the entries and the full 24 hours has gone through, and we have all the entries, afterwards we're going to do the draws probably after we've slept, because we'll have been up for 24 hours, and then we'll post we'll contact all the winners, and as long as you're okay with having your name posted, we'll post the winners on the website so everyone can see who won, or at least say that it was claimed if it's something you'd like to keep private. So that's basically the framework of the event. It's a 24-hour board game and live stream. We're going to be playing board games the entire time. You're able to chat with us in the comments. You're able to donate to be entered into all these amazing prize packages. We have some really, really cool ones. And otherwise, it's just a way to watch us play board games for 24 hours. So if you have always wanted to see us do playthroughs, you're going to get 24 hours straight of playthroughs. If you happen to not be able to tune in live, that video will live on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch certain games, certain playthroughs whenever you want. So that's a quick little brief overview of the event. We'll go into some of the specific details as we go on, but I really quickly wanted to talk about why we chose Sara Riel. So this was a really important step for us, because we didn't know who we wanted the money to go to. We didn't know many of the mental health organizations and things that existed here in Winnipeg until we started looking into it. And we sat down with Sara Riel, myself and Carlo met with a bunch of them, and instantly when we left, Carlo and me sort of looked at each other and we said, well, that's it. We don't need to look at any other options. Like, this is who we want to support. This is exactly what we were looking for. And that's because they are such a special organization in terms of what they provide for their services. They have this what's it called? The Seneca Warm Line is one example. So they basically introduced the Seneca Warm Line that was a 24-hour mental health line that anyone could call, and they introduced that on March 2020 when the pandemic started, because of the influx of mental health needs that people had with everything that was going on, and responded to that need and opened up this line that anyone could contact. As part of that, they also offer a respite program, which means that you can actually have a 24-hour place to stay for up to 5 days with up to 5 people. So if you're in a situation where, whatever your situation may be, that you're being affected mentally and you need a place to go, you need a place to stay, they will actually provide that for you. It's also peer-led support, which means that the people that are counseling you and helping you through the program and through every step and trying to get back on your feet, or just get the assistance you need or the help you need, have gone through this program as well, and have been supported by it and are success stories of it. And so it's easier to relate to the people that you're talking to and get support and information that is accurate, because it's been in practice with the people that you're working with. There's counseling, obviously, and case management. It's not just a mental health organization. It's mental health and addictions, because so often, addictions are tied into mental health issues. Things that you may be dealing with your mental health can be extrapolated or could get worse because of addictions problems that you're also dealing with. And this is now a place that understands that. It can help you with both. They will help you get a job and find a job that is going to, not just any job, but one that's going to work within potentially the framework that you're working with, or the needs that you have because of the mental health struggles that you're going through. So it's just they're not only an amazing organization and everything they provide, but they're amazing people that when we met with them, you could tell the care that they have in the work they do, how much they love the work they do, and how much they want to help. That as someone who has known people dealing with mental health struggles, who has gone through different mental health struggles personally, the hardest thing sometimes is, well, admitting that you need help and sometimes taking that step to reach out and actually do something about it, but also it's something you have to stick with. You have to constantly be doing that, and sometimes it can be draining. Sometimes you can feel embarrassment. Sometimes there's different things that can happen along the way that make it harder. And I think Sara Riel recognizes this, and they do so much to try to make the process as easy as possible. It's sort of this one-stop place. The way they describe it to us is often when people have, are trying to recover from different mental health struggles that they're going through, they have to deal with multiple people at multiple places. They may go here to help them, find a job or a career path, and they may go to this place for their counseling, and they may go to this place for their group session and different things like that. And so you're constantly, if someone say doesn't have a vehicle, especially, you're taking buses and spending your own money, which you might not have a lot of, to go here and here and here, and you have to psych yourself up to be able to mentally prepare yourself to go to all these places. Sara Riel is all in one spot, so you're never having to feel like you're stretching yourself too thin. You go to this one location or these one group of people, and they're able to sort of help you with everything you need and get you on the right track. So it's a very, very important organization in terms of the work they do. And honestly, when we found out everything they did, when we talked to them, when we were able to see how much they care about what they do, it was just, we knew right then and there that this is the organization that we wanted to support. So that's just a little bit about Sara Riel. I would really encourage you, if you want to know more, to go to the Sara Riel website. I'll include that in the description below, and you can find out a whole lot more about what they do and what they're involved in. But we're very, very excited to be partnered with them. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to get into some of our own personal experiences to kind of elaborate on why we decided to go with mental health as the cause we want to support. So I'm going to throw it to Carlo, who recorded a little video for us to talk about, some perspective that he had wanted to share on video if he was able to be here. And then after he's done, I'll jump back on and share my own.
Hey everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carlo, and I'm one half of All You Can Board, which is a YouTube channel that I run with my cousin Dylann. So we launched the channel in January 2020, obviously just a bit before the pandemic. When we launched the channel, we had no idea it would grow to be what it is today. So before we go into this any further, I do want to say a huge thank you to all of our viewers and supporters who have helped us grow our channel to be what it is today. Without that level of support and without getting to this point, we wouldn't be able to do a charity initiative like this, at least not on this level, and to be able to hopefully make it as big of an impact as we're hoping to make. So a huge thank you to everyone involved there. So, one of the big things was throughout this pandemic that we've had, some of our viewers reach out and say, oh, this has been so nice, it's been so helpful throughout the pandemic. You guys have been such a big boost to my mental health through these tough times and whatnot. And really, that's been the biggest compliment that we could receive. Like, forget the quality of the content we make, forget all that stuff. But when people say something like that, that's, we're really making a difference in someone's life. And that's something that we never really thought we would be able to do. And having this channel has also made a huge difference in our lives during the pandemic, especially. Like, obviously, having something like this to turn to, having this kind of positive feedback coming in, an outlet for our creativity, all that kind of stuff has just been huge for us. And we just want to thank everyone who, again, has been along for the journey. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, and just to be clear, obviously, like, I don't claim to be an expert on this in any way, but we have sort of this tendency in society to downplay people's struggles and hardships just because someone else has it worse. So sometimes we do this to ourselves, sometimes we do this to other people, or other people do this to us, or people we know. But there's this kind of tendency, someone comes forward and says they're having a tough time, and there's a lot of this kind of rhetoric of like, oh, toughen up, someone has it worse than you, or deal with it, everyone's got problems, kind of thing. And so then a lot of people end up feeling like, well, I'm hesitant to bring up my struggles because I'm going to get kind of shrugged off, or I'm going to be told that it's not real, or that it's not, worth that, it's not bad enough, kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know why we're waiting for people to hit rock bottom or expect that everyone's going to, sort of have this same level of struggle. Like, why are we waiting for someone to get to that point where, oh, now they have it worse and now it makes sense? Like, I just really don't like the fact that there's kind of a level of gaslighting that happens, whether it's from one person to another, or, gaslighting yourself, kind of getting into your own head, thinking, oh, whatever, like I have a full-time job and I have, friends and family that I hang out with often, and I tend to consider myself a pretty happy person, so, oh, that's probably not really a big deal, kind of thing. Um, and I just think any level of struggle, any level of hardship, someone struggling with their mental health and they feel that, that's real. No one can tell you otherwise. No one can tell you that what you feel isn't real or that it's not important enough, just because someone else has it worse than you. That's just such a wrong way of seeing things, and that's just one of the things that we want to sort of, help bring attention to at this. We have this tendency to think that, admitting weakness or admitting a struggle makes us, feel like a failure or something like that. And I've actually always been a very firm believer that, one of the most admirable qualities a human being can have is to be accountable. So that's being accountable not only to other people, but also to themselves. So that means that, whether you are struggling and you need help, whether you're admitting something that you did wrong, that you want to make right, learning from mistakes, all that kind of stuff. Like, this is how we truly grow as people. And for anyone's, struggles, hardships to be devalued or made to feel like it's not significant just because someone else has it worse, to me is just wrong. So that's a big thing that we want to do with this initiative, is just make it kind of more open, kind of get rid of that stigma, make it a little more normal for people to, again, even if you feel like you have a great life and all these things going for you, like, if you're struggling, you're struggling. It's as simple as that, and you don't have to try and justify it to anyone, and don't let anyone tell you that your struggle isn't real. I just want to end by saying a huge thank you to anyone in advance who, plans on tuning in for our live stream, helping out in any way, whether it's donating, spreading the word, whatever, to the publishers who are donating prize packs, to Sara Riel, who have, put their trust in partnering with us on this, for their wonderful organization, to Tripwire Media Group, who is lending their gear and their expertise to making this happen. Basically, to everyone who's involved, thank you so, so much. Can't wait to see you on the 28th and 29th for 24 Hours of Gaming.
All right, thanks, Carlo. So I'm going to jump in and give you guys a little bit of my personal perspective, and I'll preface this by saying I'm not going to get into too many, specific details, especially when I'm referencing other people or people in my family. I'm not going to. It's not my place to speak to details or specifics that involve other people. I don't want to overstep myself there. So I'm going to use some generalization, but whenever possible, when I'm talking about myself, I'll be as specific as I possibly can to give you guys the proper framework here on why this is important to me. But mental health, is something that mental health struggles, I should say, is something that runs in my family and has been something I've been surrounded by since I was probably a teenager, probably earlier, but you don't necessarily notice things when you're younger or able to, attribute them to being, issues of mental health at the time. But it does run in my family, and so it's something that as I got older, I would become more and more aware of, that this is sort of what it is that I'm looking at, what it looks like, and then also aware of things in myself that, okay, so maybe that's what I would call this. Maybe I do have anxiety, and then realizing, oh, I absolutely have anxiety. That's what this is, and stuff. So, I consider myself lucky in terms of some of the other issues that have happened in my family, that I don't struggle with anything overly major when it comes to mental health, but I do have my own struggles, and that has manifested at times as depression, as anxiety. Social anxiety is a big one for me, and it's something that it was when I became aware that that's what it was, and I was able to put a name to it, and I was able to get more information and talk to a therapist, that's when I was able to really sort of identify, this is what it is I deal with, and here's how I could slowly work getting better in those areas, or whatever the case may be. So when Carlo and I started All You Can Board in January 2020, that I would say pretty much a large part of 2019, but especially 2020, the year that we started it, was a really, really tough time for me. 2020 especially, and not really even because of the pandemic. Obviously I don't want to downplay like how difficult the pandemic was for people, but it didn't affect me in a very large way in that first year, because if anything, it was a bit of a reprieve that I was sort of isolated and there was things in my life I didn't have to deal with because we were forced to be locked down. But for other reasons, with my personal relationship, if for those who don't know, I was engaged, and that didn't pan out. So that year was tough for a lot of reasons. And again, I'm not going to get into all of them here because it's not fair also for me to sort of from one side of an issue just explain and then pretend that's all that matters. But the relationship ended and it was a mutual ending, but that obviously it makes things very difficult. It ended in 2021, but that last year was tough, and All You Can Board ended up being a bit of a resource to me to sort of I don't want to say escape, but it was this bright spot where no matter what I had going on, no matter how tough something was or how low I was, I could put on my acting cap, and I use that loosely because who you're seeing here and who you've seen in videos is not acting, but I could pretend, I guess, that it wasn't going on, that I wasn't dealing with that stuff, put on a smile and pretend I was just 100% fine, and just speak to whatever game I'm teaching or whatever review I'm doing or whatever content we're creating, and that would sort of make me happy. Or especially me and Carlo were on camera together, I'd forget about the other stuff that was going on. So All You Can Board in many ways, I don't want to dramatize it too much and say it saved my mental health, but it definitely had a huge impact on my mental health in having this area to sort of find happiness very frequently, and it's to turn to, whether it be reading comments, whether it be creating videos or engaging with people in the community or whatever the case may be. We're just working with Carlo. It had a huge effect on my mental health, but I struggled for that entire year, what's very interesting is that no one really knows what someone is going through. I think that's why I bring this up is no one really knew I was going through this stuff, and I'm not even getting into the details, so you still don't really have a full idea of what it was I was dealing with or what my struggles are. And I guess that's the reason I'm wanting to bring this up, is that we never know what someone is going through. The example I always like to use, because someone used it for me, is like, if you're at a wedding or some large event and you see someone sitting at one of the tables, quietly on their phone, you can immediately look at that and jump to the conclusion, wow, this person, why are they even here? Why did they come to a wedding if they're just going to sit there on their phone? Or like, wow, like how rude of them, or you can jump to any sort of conclusion you want by what you're seeing. But the fact of the matter is, you have no idea what is going on in that person's head, what their personal struggle might be. Maybe they are dealing with a lot of social anxiety. Maybe they're dealing with a lot of maybe something happened in their personal life that day, but they didn't want to miss this event, so they felt like they had to go. There's so many different reasons and things that could be going on that you can choose to look at a situation and jump to whatever conclusion you want to negatively think about someone, but you're not helping their mental health. You're not improving yourself as a human being and as a person, and learning empathy. Nothing about that is having any positive effect on anyone. And I'm not saying you need to go and place yourself into this person's life and sit down and say, hey, you want to have a conversation? But sometimes just having that empathy and having that understanding and giving someone the benefit of the doubt, because you don't know what they are going through, what their story is all it takes to make things a little bit easier. Because as someone who struggles with social anxiety, I will tell you that whenever I'm in a situation where I'm feeling anxious from a social environment, I am in my head telling myself a story of what every single person at that event is thinking about me. And it might not be true, and in many cases it probably isn't true, but I'm looking at every single person who even looks at me for a second and think, oh, they're thinking, why am I being so quiet right now? Oh, they're thinking I'm rude. Oh, they're thinking this. And that makes everything perpetually worse, and then it spirals, and next thing you know, I'm in this spiral where I can't get out of, and I either have to leave or I have to step away or I have to just fight through it. And the fact that that's my story, that there's likely people that are going through things way more difficult than me. And so what I've learned is that empathy, or at least I'm trying to learn that empathy, to always sort of give the benefit of the doubt. And another funny little example, and this one, I'll preface this by saying I am not affected by this. I'm completely fine. So don't think I'm using this as a way to say that I'm hurt by this. But me and Carlo joke all the time about every so often I'll get a comment either in YouTube or on Reddit if someone shares our video there, someone making a mention of that I'm wearing a toque. Which we honestly, it's a running joke with me and Carlo. We joke about it on the side and everything like that because we think it's a little bit, silly that someone is watching one of our videos and they are going out of their way to be like, why are you wearing a toque in a video? Like, right? It's funny. But when you really think about it, like let's say I was someone who those type of comments would really, really impact, that I would read one of these and I would feel really, really down about myself or my physical appearance or whatever the case may be. What was the point of that comment, right? What is the point of commenting on a video and not talking about what the person's talking about, the content, constructive criticism, or just what you liked about it? The only thing you're mentioning is something so insignificant, so pointless, has absolutely no meaning. You're making a choice, and that choice is I am going to potentially hurt someone mentally for no reason whatsoever, right? And again, I am completely fine, and again, me and Carlo have it as a running joke, but I'm just saying that I see so much of this on YouTube in different places where, and in real life, where someone makes a comment or whatever the case may be, and it's so unnecessary, and it has no purpose, and I think that's what we need less of is we need less of that, and we need more of people having empathy and just thinking, I don't have perspective here, and so I'm not going to do anything that could potentially hurt someone's mental health. So this is a little bit rambling and it's a little bit longer than I intended, but I deal with mental health stuff in my family. I deal with mental health stuff personally. And a lot of it goes unknown, and that's the thing, is we just sort of have to bring awareness to mental health so that more people are speaking about it, or do feel safe to talk about it, don't feel embarrassed to talk about it, doesn't make them weak, nothing like that, so that we can have more resources, have it be more widely and socially acceptable to seek help, so that we have less people having to sort of be in private and deal with these problems and not feel like they have anyone to talk to. So again, I'm not an expert here. Like Carlo said, we are not mental health experts. We are advocates, but we can't answer all the questions that you may have, or give you all the answers and resources and things like that. That's more for organizations like Sara Riel to do. Our part, what we see it as, is just bringing more awareness to it, breaking down the barriers and the stigma associated with it, and just having it be something we can more openly talk about and discuss without fear of retaliation or negative comments or embarrassment or anything like that. Just know that if you are ever dealing with anything mental health related and you don't even want advice, you just want to be able to say it to someone. Carlo and I are two people that will never hear something that anyone says that they're dealing with mental health and ever have the response that we're gonna talk bad about that person behind our back, or laugh at them, or put them down in any way. We understand wholeheartedly like how difficult it is to talk about, and it means the world to us that anyone would ever want to bring that stuff up to us. So that's my little bit of my personal experience. Obviously, you can see from like what I've shared here, what Carlo has shared, why we would have chosen mental health, or I hope that's obvious. We think that this is just such an amazing opportunity to bring awareness, but also raise money for an organization that is putting that empathy and that care into action, and actually creating resources and programs and doing things for people that really need that support, need that help, to try to deal with the different struggles that they may have going on in their lives. So I'm going to get into the prizes now. So a little bit, we'll turn things into a bit more of a, I shouldn't say into a happier thing. This is all happy because the cause is really important, but I know that some of you are very curious about the prizes that we're going to be showcasing, so I'm going to get into those, and we'll go over each prize that we currently have announced and let you know, reiterate again how you can win them. Okay, so all these prizes are subject to change. This is currently what we have for prize packages. Some of these are going to be listed as TBD because we know that we have a sponsored prize package, but it hasn't been finalized what games they're going to be providing yet, but it will get updated on the website, so just keep checking back there, and eventually they'll all be on there. And we could have new sponsors added completely as more people find out about the event and want to be a part of it. So this is just a little bit of a preview kind of to go over everything. So we do have Flat Out Games, who has come on board to provide a prize package. Really good one. You can win Calico, Cascadia, and Verdant as one prize package. So if you get pulled for that prize package, you'll get all 3 games sent to you by Flat Out Games. Super happy to have them on board, and what an amazing prize package. Those are 3 really, really great games. Verdant being brand new too. Leader Games is doing 3 separate prize packages for us. This is really exciting. So the first one is going to be Root and an expansion of your choice. So you'll be able to choose whatever expansion you want and the base game of Root, and they will send that to you. Super awesome. The second one is is going to be Oath Chronicles of Empire and Exile, which is obviously a huge and massive game and one that is super exciting. We have a review on it on our channel if you want to like learn more about it. Awesome to have that as a prize. And then we also have a Fort and the Cats and Dogs expansion as a third prize package from Leader Games. So I want to send a huge shout out to Leader Games for providing all of these prize packages. Those are really exciting prizes, and I know people are pretty hyped on Root all the time. So even just having that with the expansion, I think is going to get a lot of people excited. Pandasaurus Games has been kind enough to come on board as well, and they are doing 3 of their newest games as a prize package. So you're going to get Skate Summer, Skull Canyon, and Sobek 2-player as a prize package. So I think maybe Sobek is the only one that's actually out to buy. I don't even know if the other 2 are available yet, but it is going to be shipped this summer. So I should have mentioned with some of these prize packages, there may be a delay on when you receive them because some of the games need to be released. So I think, like for instance in this case, I can't remember if it's Skate Summer or Skull Canyon is the last one to release. But whenever it releases this summer, all 3 games will be shipped out to you. So with some of these, you might just have to wait, but you'll be among the first person to receive these games, which is pretty exciting. Then we have AEG. AEG is going to be providing 10 copies of Dog Lover, which is sort of like the dog version of Cat Lady, which is a game we absolutely love here on the AYCB. So there's going to be 10 separate prizes, 10 separate chances to win. We're going to do 10 draws, 1 for each of those copies of Dog Lover. We're going to give 10 copies of Dog Lover away to people on the event. We also have North Star Games. North Star Games are going to be doing a prize package with Oceans and Evolution Climate. So we own both. We've played both. Carlo is a big fan of Evolution Climate. I've played Oceans a couple times. That's my preferred game, but I haven't played either one a whole ton. Great games. Huge thanks to North Star Games for coming on board to provide that. Capstone Games is going to be sponsoring, and they are going to be providing Boon Lake and Rift Force as a prize package. We have Rift Force. I've played Rift Force. Awesome game. That alone would have been a great prize, but the fact that Boon Lake's added on, which is not a game we've played, but we've heard so much about, and has obviously been getting a lot of buzz, is really, really exciting. We also have Board Game Bliss, which is a Canadian online retailer. It's one of the biggest retailers here in Canada for buying board games online at great prices. TBD on what games are going to be included there, so check back on our website, but they are going to be providing a prize package with some of their favorites as well to win. We also have Victory Pints Games. That's a local retailer here in Winnipeg. They're actually just opening up their first storefront. They're going to be providing a prize package as well as some of their favorite games. So huge thanks to them for being willing to come on board for that. We also, myself and Carlo, are each going to do our own personalized prize package. So there's going to be Dylan's Choices prize package and Carlo's Choices prize package. You might see some games that are some of our favorites in there. You might see some new titles we really want to feature. Both of those are TBD, but check back on the website and we'll likely announce on our Patreon what games we're going to be including. Speaking of Patreon, we're going to have 1 to 2 Patreon choice prize packages. We're going to take 100% of our Patreon funds for the month of May, so we're not going to keep a single cent of it. We're going to use it all to put towards a single or 2 prize packages that are Patreon choice. So we're going to have polls on our Patreon where all of you can vote and on certain titles you would love to see represented, and as long as we can find them and track them down to incorporate them as prizes, we're going to have either 1 or 2 prize packages that are basically funded by our patrons and chosen by our patrons. So, you know what? I actually forgot there is one more prize package. It just wasn't listed on the list here because it just came in this morning. Plan B Games. Big, huge thanks to Plan B Games. They're actually going to be providing Yak, which is a brand new game, and some extra little goodies thrown in there as a prize package as well. So Plan B Games will also be sponsoring. Did not want to miss them. So it's really exciting, honestly, how many publishers, how many people are seeing the value in this cause and getting as many donations as we possibly can, and coming on board and sponsoring the event. And that's really at the core. That is what we are most focused on with this event. Above everything else, it's not even close, is just raising as much money as we possibly can for Sara Riel to be able to do some of the amazing work that they do. The rest of it is long. We want the event to go smoothly. We want you guys to be entertained, but we just want people to see the value in this cause. And if you've ever watched any of our content and you thought, I would love to support them at some point, and you haven't yet, rather than going and necessarily this month subscribing to our Patreon or, giving us a PayPal donation or buying some merch, whatever you were thinking of doing in terms of supporting us, just consider waiting till the 28th and just making a donation for Sara Riel. We honestly would love to just be, blown away by the money we raise and be able to really help them out. And again, this means so much to us personally to be able to support this cause and be at a place where we can support a cause like this. And it just means means so much to us that the cause is something so near and dear to mine and Carlo's hearts that we've both been affected by and known people around us that have been affected by. So that is basically the entire announcement. Again, May 28th, noon, I should have said noon Central Time, so check your local time zone to see when that is. It's going to be going till May 29th at noon Central Time, so the full 24 hours. We'll be playing board games the entire time. We will eventually have a schedule released online that you'll be able to check to see which game is being played when. Obviously, board game times can fluctuate, so that it might be a little bit off. It's not going to be exact all the time, but we're going to try to build in some breaks and stuff to keep it as accurate as we possibly can. But some certain games might go over depending on what's happening in them. So there'll be myself and Carlo on the stream. You'll see Braiden on the stream. You'll see a bunch of our friends popping in and out during the stream and taking part in different games. You might see my dad coming in and playing one game with us or something. Different people will pop in at different times, but you'll be able to watch us play games for 24 hours straight or whatever you want to join. And again, every donation you make that is of $5 will get you a single entry into every single one of the prize packages that I just mentioned, but every additional $5 that you donate is getting you an additional entry. So if you want to donate $100 to Sara Riel, you're getting 20 entries into every single prize package. Whatever you feel comfortable donating, every little bit counts. It does not matter if you're donating $5. It doesn't matter if you don't even want an entry. If you just want to give $1 because that's all you can give, honestly, every little bit counts, and we are so appreciative of all the support that we're getting to be able to provide to Sara Riel in this case. So I hope you guys are all as excited as me and Carlo are. We've been working on this for months now. It's going to take up a lot of our time in May. You're going to see less video output in May. Normally, I think we normally do Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays to release videos. We tend to do roughly 3 videos a week. I think it's definitely going to be less than that in May. You're likely only going to see max of 2 videos from us per week. Something like a Sunday and a Wednesday or Sunday and a Thursday or whatever. And that's just because we have so much going on with this event and making it as great as we possibly can. We want it to be an amazing experience for everyone watching. We want it to be as flawless an experience as we possibly can technically, as well as in terms of donating and things like that. So lots of work to do there. At the same time, Carlo unfortunately got COVID, so he's dealing with that. I am starting a new job this month for my full-time job, so I've got going through transitions there. There's a lot going on this month, so lots to keep us busy. But we hope you'll tune in with us, and I think it's going to be a really fun time. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the YouTube section below, or if you join our Discord, we're going to have a channel on our Discord specifically for this event. All questions, comments, and discussion about the event can go in there. It'll live there, throughout the entire month of May until the event happens. We'll be reminding people throughout the entire month of May, and all of our videos about this event and how to go check it out. I should have mentioned right at the beginning. I didn't. I'll put it up. I'll remember to put it up on screen at the beginning. But we do have our landing page to actually view the entire event, and that is AYCBmentalhealth.com. So if you go there, you can see the list of sponsors. You can see the prize packages. You can find out about the event, about Sara Riel, and all that, and that'll be updated as we go. We're likely also going to have our entire website, allyoucanboard.com, completely redirect to this page for the entire month of May. So if you might just be able to go to allyoucanboard.com and have it be redirected there as well. But that's pretty much all I have. Like I said, Carlo wishes he could have been here, but hopefully his message was enough to sort of illustrate how much he shares my sentiments here, and he'll be back on camera hopefully pretty soon after he's recovered. Thank you all so much for watching this video and for hopefully supporting the event and joining us on May 28th. We're really excited about it, cannot wait, and we will see you at the end of the month.